It's Monday, start of a new week. Happy Monday to you guys. My cat's coming in to say good morning to you guys too. Excuse me. Um, it is also July 29th, 2024. We're coming to the end of the month. 2 more days, right? It's 30 days, 31 days in July. We are still reading an interpretation of the Tao Te Ching, not the actual. Sorry about that, guys. Not an actual translation. What Dr. Wayne Dyer did was compile a bunch of his favorite translations, and he pulled from that. And then what he wanted to do was offer a means of living and expressing the Tao on a daily basis. So he put together his own meaningful um, compilation of those translations, and then offered a little essay on how he felt best to live it. You can read it, and then you decide for yourself: is this the best expression of the Tao? Um, and that's the best way to do it. Never just rely on someone else saying this is how to do it, because there are infinite ways of expressing the infinite. Don't limit it. We always introduce our concepts into the non-conceptual, and then we're disappointed when it doesn't fit. And we go through the world battling, literally battling everyone and everything because it doesn't fit our conceptions. That as soon as we say, I am this, we're causing a split, a seeming split, as reality itself is never split. It's all encompassing. It holds everything. We can substitute the word reality for the word God. Lesson 45 in A Course in Miracles today is God in the love. God is the love in which I forgive, which is a hard thing to come across because we think, does God forgive this? Does God forgive that? Again, we enter our conceptions into the conceptualist God. God has no conceptions. As soon as we say God is, we should just stop, because then we're entering our concepts. God forgives because that's all God can do, because God is all inclusive. So, with that said, we're diving back into the Tao. I think later today, I might tie it in with that lesson in forgiveness. Verse 60, the last few lessons, and one or two more to go. It's a little tough for me because it feels like it's starting leaning in towards the political, and I don't want to do that. I don't even want to be involved a little bit in politics right now. As a matter of fact, I believe the reason why the Course called me back so strongly for a continuous and daily practice is to not escape a political climate, but to forgive a political climate. And by forgiveness, again, I mean we're forgiving the illusion that such a climate is an actuality in reality itself. Blaine Miracle says hello, my friend. It's not that politics in and of itself is a bad thing. It's again that we put our concepts within politics, and it creates division of us against them. And there's always a them, and there's always an us. However, if we go back to that lesson in 45, how's that? It's coming in low because it's 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm always hesitant to raise my voice in the morning. Let's see. Someone says you're kind of coming in super low. I hope that's better. And Salmon says he is stuck on Band-Aids. Or are Band-Aids stuck on you? And I think he provides the answer to that age-old riddle. Blaine says you should play Kinto Pet. Don't know what it is. Salmon says, yes, sir. Good. I'm glad that's a little bit better. 60th verse of the Tao Te Ching. Then we can talk about it. Then we can talk about Kinto Pet if you want. Or we can talk about Band-Aids. Verse 60. Governing a large county is like frying a small fish. It's frying a small fish. You spoil it with too much poking. Approach the universe with the Tao, and evil will have no power. Not that evil is not powerful, but its power will not be used to harm others. Not only will it do no harm to others, but the sage himself will also be protected. If only the ruler and his people would refrain from harming each other, all the benefits of life would accumulate in the kingdom. So that seems pretty straightforward way of leading, of being a political leader, of doing this, of doing that. However, in the Tao, everything is sort of filled with paradox, and we have to have an all-embracing mind and heart to really understand it. Um, what Lao Tzu was saying in the Tao is, it is the government that governs least that is most centered in the Tao. That doesn't mean we don't have stoplights, we don't have regulations, we don't have this, we don't have that. It means that people are given the respect due, knowing that they know how to obey those. We don't need to, not everything needs to be forced. Wonderful book, David Hawkins' Power versus Force, that makes that distinction so clearly. When we go through life trying to force everything, trying to force our opinion, trying to force our concepts and our beliefs on others, we are just causing a disconnect from the source. We're never truly disconnected, but we can certainly feel that way. It's that disconnect that causes the reality that we live in now. In order to heal that reality, we forgive. Forgiveness places us right back into the center of power, which is non-conceptual, which is simply love, which is simply expressing ourselves. So that was verse 60. I think again we have one or two more that seem a little political, but doesn't mean that we have to get political. Whenever I'm asked about politics, people always expect a declaration of sides, that I am this or I am that, and I am this and that. I am this and that and something other. Our friend Jason's here. Jason says, good morning. Morning to you, my friend. Simply don't have to make all those distinctions. Doesn't mean that we can't have our own beliefs, our own opinions. However, do we have to cherish them above all others? Because when we simply realize it's a thought, every opinion, every belief is a thought. Our personality is a thought. Who we think we are is a thought. When we are able to hold that thought lightly, we're holding the entire universe lightly. We're unaffected. It means that we can't be attacked. It means that we are now living in what Course in Miracles calls defenselessness. And that's true power, because now I don't get offended by anything. If I'm not offended by anything, I don't have to defend anything. Now, when we say defenselessness, I don't by any means mean that we are letting people harm us, or we were letting other people harm others. Because if you don't protect yourself, if you don't protect others, you are also causing harm to that other person or whoever it is that seems to be attacking. So again, not everything is cut and dried. Just because you say something doesn't mean that an entire opposite has to come rushing in. Reality is a paradox, or a seeming paradox, but when you let go of the concept of paradox, it all makes perfect sense. My great power is defenselessness, because I can have a conversation, someone can disagree, and I don't need to make them wrong. It doesn't mean that I don't stand on my own belief. I certainly do. I'm not free of any opinion. I'm not free of any belief. However, I'm able to hold it lightly, and I'm also not invested in being right. Meaning, in order for me to feel right, I need to make everyone who disagrees feel wrong. What a tough way to go through life. always having to make someone else wrong, just so my own belief is bolstered, just so my own ego is satisfied, especially when you consider the ego is just a thought, a collection of thoughts shown by neuroscience. But more importantly, if you've spent any time in deep, deep meditation or deep prayer, you find the path of yoga is the cessation of thought. And you get to this point of stillness. If you're in between those thoughts, if you're underneath those thoughts, you can't be those thoughts. If you can't be those thoughts, you can't be that ego. You can't be that personality. And you taste that absolute freedom of who you really are. It's a beautiful experience. However, it's always an experience until you sink into the actuality of it. And then everything changes. Because once you taste that actuality, you never truly, truly go back. It's ever present. A great way to do it is when you are incensed by someone else's opinion, by someone else's belief system. When someone else says, I'm voting for this guy, and you feel that rush of emotion saying, that's ridiculous, you should vote for this guy. Imagine who you would be, just for a moment, in the absence of that thought. Take any political party, take any religious belief, take any religion, take any opinion, take any belief, and just for a moment ask yourself, who would I be without that thought? I can't give away the answer, but you try it, and what you'll find is absolute freedom, liberation. Freedom trumps opinion every single time. And you only know that when you taste that freedom, when you only let go of those concepts that have ruled our entire life. Every aspect of our life is ruled by a concept. Someone might listen to this and say, yes, but, which means they're going to say, yes, but here's my concept. Which is fine, because what I'm saying is a concept as well. This is what Ramana Maharshi said, when you have a thorn in your finger and you take another thorn and you use it to remove the thorn, don't hold both thorns up and say, this is reality. You throw them both away and now you're free. So we use words to describe the non-conceptual. We use a concept to describe the non-conceptual. But then we got to throw it out. Again, this is why we say God is, and we never finish that sentence, because anything that we say is a concept within the non-conceptual. We embrace the paradox of it all. So, I'm going to get ready to go for a walk. Guys, I have a brand new camera. I have, thanks to my lovely ex-wife, not really an ex, but not really a wife, again, my relationship with the lovely and beautiful Milka is beyond a concept. I'm very fortunate. I was very fortunate that she divorced me and yet stayed with me, because it was a beautiful lesson in letting go of the concepts that I had of what our relationship should be. That it had to be signed on a paper. It had to be this. In both ways. It had to be this when we were married, and when I reluctantly at the time signed the divorce paper, that it meant that we were separated. It actually ended up not meaning that at all. It gave us both a great deal of an ability to love each other in a very new and unique way. However, she bought me a new camera, and it is a camera, little handheld monocular that has infrared vision. So I can film at night. I can film in the darkness. I was talking an awful lot on my morning 5 a.m. live streams because I was waiting for the sun to just start coming up so I could use my other camera, which I love. However, I love walking in the dark. I love getting out before the sunrise and then seeing that first hint. I love hearing the very first of the dawn chorus, the birds that come out and sing the sun into existence. For me, the sun doesn't exist until I hear that bird. Do I hear those birds? And then it becomes, because I know the sun is arriving. That's the Vedic concept. And that's also the concept in quantum physics, the role of the observer. Until something is observed, it's only a potentiality. Until that sun is experienced, it exists in potentiality. So that's the object in meditation, guys. That's the object in manifestation. Everything that you want, everything that you dream. You want to grow your YouTube channel? 1,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, 1,000,000 subscribers already exist in potentiality. How do you know it? Because we know there's at least millions of people already existing on YouTube. So why won't they be subscribers to you? Who knows? They exist as a potentiality. As soon as you know they exist in potentiality, all you got to do is bring them into the realm of your experience. How do you do that? I don't know. It's going to be different with everyone. For our good friend Jace here, it's going to happen because of the quality of his work that he's putting out and because of the vibration of love that exudes from his channel. That's his formula. He found it. It's going to work. What's yours? Find it. Make it work. Mine? Oh, I don't know what mine is. I'm stumbling along. It might be conversations like this. It might be nature shorts. It certainly isn't going to be doing burpees in my basement. Man, who wants to watch an old guy doing burpees in his basement? Jace says that's just me. And that's absolutely perfect. There's the key. Jace isn't trying to put on a front. He's not trying to say, I want to get these subscribers by being someone else. Jace is relaxed. And in his relaxation, he's presenting the one and only authentic Jace. I'm sorry, I think I was saying Jax. Because I was thinking before, I was watching Bax in the Swiss Alps. Jace is, he's able to relax as himself because in his essence, he's just true love. And that's what he has to give away. Jace says, be true to yourself and others. Absolutely. You know what? And when here's the secret to the secret, since we've been giving away secrets. When you are true to yourself, meaning authentically yourself, others have the freedom of being true to themselves because you're not there to make them wrong. Now you're in this all loving and accepting place, and others are drawn to that openness because they can relax. They can be themselves. They don't have to put up any kind of a front. It's a truly, 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 truly beautiful gift that you can give to other people. And amazing. Some of us stumble upon it. Some of us, for whatever reason, have never accumulated all that extra baggage through life. And others, me, I've been fortunate to return to it through the practice of meditation, yoga, breath work, the Tao Te Ching, and A Course in Miracles. Lesson 45 in A Course in Miracles, which is today, in a continuous stream of lessons. 365 lessons in the course, and you just keep going through it. You recycle through it. It's a great practice. But you can just do this practice. And it's it's lesson 45, but it's number 1 for me. God is the love in which I forgive. Because the love of God is all-encompassing, all-embracing, all-inclusive, all-allowing. How do we know it's all-allowing? Because look around. Everything's allowed. And everything's instantly forgiven. God is love in which I forgive. Someone presents anything to you, we can just remember that. God is love in which I forgive. And we gain that instant freedom that forgiveness offers us. Freedom is never about someone else. It's not even about us. It's about freedom. Nothing's more important to me. And when I say me, air quotes, I'm talking about my ego. Nothing is more important to the ego than that sense of freedom. And yet, the last thing the ego wants is a sense of freedom because the ego thrives upon division. It thrives upon grievance. It thrives upon resentment. When we forgive, we're letting go of the ego, and we taste that true liberation. So, anyway, guys, I've talked long enough. I'm going to head outside. I'm going to try out my new camera for the first time. Wish me luck. No idea how to use it. I'm going to stumble my way through. Probably should have read the instructions. Word to the rise. Read the instructions. But you know what? A lot of my life has been stumbling around and finding my way. Hey, why change a winning formula? I'm going to see everyone later. Jay says, enjoy, be happy, return with smiles. I will, my friend. Thank you for joining me. You guys have a good day. Take care.